All right, everyone, this is Mr. Bezaleel Reacts. I am Mr. Bezaleel, and today I don't have a music video for you, but I have been mentioning that I wanted to share with you why I even started doing these reaction videos. And um, who is it? My daughters, we raised our children kind of in an unconventional way. We've homeschooled them. They've been in our care from birth. Most of them have been home birthed. Um, the last one we birthed ourselves. My wife and I caught a leg and an arm, and she caught the arm as the baby was coming out. So, we've lived very unconventional lives, and during the time that our children were growing up, I know I was going through my own music purging phase, and so I got rid of a lot of music, and I wasn't listening to music like I used to. I used to have a lot of music, probably over 1,000 CDs that I just gave up. I sold to a record store here in Chicago. Got about $400 or $500 from it, and I just purged from music. And I think because I did that, and as the children were growing up, we weren't listening to secular music. We weren't listening to the things that I used to listen to. We were listening to more spiritual music. Scripture songs and more faith-based music. And as the years went on and the children got older, my two older boys, the one is gone and he's left. No, he's not left, but he's gone and become a man and doing his own thing. And then my next oldest son is on his way to do the same thing. And then as the girls were growing up, they weren't privy to much music, really. And I think one day, I don't know how it happened. I really don't know how it happened. But one day I noticed that my oldest daughter started listening or liking K-pop. And initially I was like, oh man, because I really wanted, I guess within me, I wanted my children to understand Black music and Black culture. I wanted that to be a part of their experience. But we taught them about their African heritage and their Black American heritage, but we didn't go into the music aspect of it. And so when my oldest daughter started gravitating toward K-pop, I was like, man, there was a myriad of things that went through my mind. And some were not the best because I was biased, because I still, even though I got rid of that music, I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed the feel and the sound of that music. Some of it was just a little bit too far-fetched for me. I mean, not far-fetched, but some of it was just a little too vulgar at times. And so getting rid of it really gave me the opportunity to really understand and decipher the different things that I was listening to. And so when my daughter started listening to K-pop, it took me a minute to be able to accept it. Because, I was on my Black Power trip, I was really, really for my culture and what have you. But as I started listening to some of the lyrics to the songs and some of the things that she was listening to, just hearing it just a little bit, I realized that I couldn't say anything bad about it, other than the fact that I didn't care for the tempo of some of the songs. But as far as the messages and things like that, I couldn't. I didn't have anything bad to say about that, right? I could not be angry with my daughter at all. Why would I? She likes what she likes, and so I decided. Oh no, before I go there, I realized that she likes what she likes, and she began to really dive deep into Far East Asian culture. So she began to teach herself uh, uh, Mandarin. She began to study Korean. She began to study Japanese. She began to study these different languages, and along that path, she decided that she wanted to be a polyglot, right? And so I was like, man, this was, and I figured that this music would probably be a way that she could actually learn and gain more understanding about not only about the language, but about the culture. And so I said to myself, let me see if I can use this as a learning tool and possibly an opportunity to fulfill a desire that they have. My oldest daughter has a desire to visit. She wants to visit Korea. She wants to visit Japan. She wants to visit China. And I lived in Japan for about a year in the military, and so I know what Japan is like. And well, I was in Okinawa, Japan, so I know what the island of Okinawa was like, and being over there, um, and I would love to go back and explore. And so I started this channel because I wanted to. Here's the thing. I noticed that my bond with my daughters was changing, right? So I have a young daughter. I have a 7-year-old daughter, right? And so playing around, tickling and doing all that type of stuff and throwing up in the air and just being rough and whatever, just playing. Those things I can't do with my older two daughters. One's 16 now and the other's 14. And so my relationship with them is changing. And so I was like, how do I gain some type of connection with them? And I was like, well, I can listen to their music. I can be more into a little bit of what they're into. And so since I do love music, I said, well, let me dig into the music, but let me do it a different way. Let me do it in a way that could possibly provide a way for us to get them to these places to visit. And that way was to let me start doing a reaction channel with K-pop, because I saw a lot of reaction channels that dealt with hip hop, that dealt with R&B. And so I said, let me do K-pop and let me involve my daughters and let's see if I could build a rapport, a relationship, or a connection that way. And so, and not only that, let's see if I could get a good enough following to where this could be something we could use to catapult us or to get us to these places that they want to go to visit. It's not an inexpensive task. And so I said, well, maybe if I can get enough followers, enough views, enough support, that I could, get us there. We're a family of 6 of us. Well, no, my wife and I have 6 children. Yay, 7. I have my oldest daughter, but she's doing her own thing. She's grown woman, what have you. Anyway, but we have 6 children at home. Well, no, sorry, we have 5 children at home. My oldest son is out as well. So the first 2 are gone, and then the last 5 are at home. And so I was like, this could be a way for us to get them there, because they have dreams of learning the language, they have dreams of experiencing the culture, they have dreams of wanting to see the different stores and the different different things that go on, the different technologies and things that happen in China and Japan and these different countries. And so I said, well, let me start this YouTube channel, and we could possibly gain an audience that with enough subscribers and with enough support that could be of a help to get us over there for them, and to be able to to do these things that they desire to do. And so yeah, this is why I'm doing this, you all. Also to document If my grandchildren see this, my daughters start having children as they grow older, and they're able to point to this and say, here's your grandfather, doing this thing. And hey, if you're watching it, grandchild, it's me. How you doing? Younger version than what you probably typically would see. Talking to my grandchildren right now. That's an exciting thing for me too. I can't wait to have grandchildren. But my daughters are not old enough yet, of course. But this is documentation. This is something that will be available for them to be able to look back on and say, here granddad was, or here my dad was, doing this thing to try to support us and to connect with us on the level that we were at. I have my bias toward music. I've been down, I'm 51, so I've been down the road. I've seen music from the 70s. I've heard music from the 50s and the 60s. I've seen artists from the 80s. I've vibed and grooved to artists of the 90s, and in the 2000s, I really wasn't into music like that. So, no, I was actually in the 2000s. I was into the neo soul movement, but after I got married, things kind of changed, and all that music stuff, got pushed to the side, and I started raising a family, and started trying to figure out how to figure out how to provide for these people that I now call my wife and children. And so, I've experienced all these things, and so I have my way. I've had my biases. I've had my experiences, and I felt that to be an adequate father to my children, I have to be interested in what they're interested in. And so unexpectedly, that came with my daughters enjoying K-pop. I had one son that wanted to, so it's a lot of things. Like, being a parent is not easy. There are no manuals to this, and I'm just doing the best I can to try to give them the best of me that I can. And so, this is why I'm doing this. I know this is probably long and drawn out, but this is just to give you a little tidbit, and a little message into, not a message. This is just to give you a little of the reason why I'm doing this. This is more than a little, it's a lot. This is the main reason why I'm doing this. And so I have the Cash App there for the purposes of, people, if they want to donate or what have you. I'm not going to ask anybody for anything in these videos. This will be the first, probably only time that you'll hear me mention the Cash App. But that's there for people to use if they like. But so this is why I'm doing this, for my daughters, to be able to connect with them, and to be able to hopefully provide something for us to be able to get over there and allow them to see that side of the world that they so they so desire to see. It's one thing to watch videos on it, but of course it's another thing to be there, mingling and mixing into the culture. And so, I hope you all understand and can vibe with what I'm saying. And I hope you continue to continue to watch, and also, go ahead and subscribe, and it would help out greatly, and it would expedite our trip or our travels, and then we can do I could show you, we can do more videos of them enjoying themselves, in Japan, or in China, or in Korea, or wherever they would like to, in the Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand. They love Thai food. We love cuisine, so we love Thai food. I miss the Japanese yakisoba that I used to have back when I lived in Japan. So I would love to be able to take them over there to experience that life, and the culture, and the culture of the music in which they love so much. So so continue to check me out, like and subscribe, and I'll see you again on the next one. All right, take care.